Byron Burger have released a pickle beer that should pair perfectly with their burgers. But what is a pickle beer, and is it in fact the ultimate beer to have with your burgers? Hi beer lovers, I'm Joanne the Beer School Lady, and I teach beer lovers how to taste beer with confidence and to develop their knowledge of the world's favourite beverage. Welcome back to my channel. First things first, what even is a pickle beer? This seems to be a style that's quite interesting and available in the US. The most well-known seems to be the Best Made Pickle Beer that's brewed by Martin House Brewing Co. in Fort Worth, Texas. They did a little collaboration with Best Made Pickles, and the reviews that I've seen of this beer basically say that it is pickle juice with a bit of carbonation in it. It's not like any beer anybody's ever tasted. I've also seen recipes where you can add a bit of pickle juice to beer. Apparently that's really good. Preface this by saying I don't really like pickles, so this is going to be a really interesting experiment for me. What beer would you pair with your burger? Let me know in the comments. So pickle beer is basically a beer that's supposed to taste like pickles, but what beer styles work well to even be able to recreate that flavour in a beer? I'd say probably a Gose. This is a German wheat beer style. I believe in the newest BJCP update, it has now been added to the regular style guidelines rather than being down in the historical beers, which are more difficult to find. Lots of breweries are now brewing this style. Usually they put fruit in them. The water in the place that the beer was originally brewed was quite salty. So this beer has a bit of a salty taste to it, and salt is added to the brew. So that saltiness goes with pickles. I think that would be a good place to start as a beer style for the base for your pickle beer. You could also use a Berliner Weisse that has lots of lactic sourness, and you want a bit of that sour taste to a pickle beer. And basically going along those lines, any kind of sour beer base is going to work for a pickle beer. Byron have chosen to use a Saison base. This made me really excited because I love a Saison. But there are particular style things I'm going to be looking for. It should be highly carbonated. It should have maybe a lemony spritzy or citrusy spritziness to it. I'm going to want a pepperiness in there from that classic Belgian yeast. If you can't get down to Byron to try one, what else could you try? Versions closer to home include Damn Dead Cucumber from Wild Weather. They rebrew this fairly regularly. And I have also tried I'm a Beer Morty by Hand Brew Co. That one really tasted like pickle. And continue watching to see my reaction to that beer when I blind tasted it. So let's see what I thought of this beer from Byron. I'm in London and I was invited down to Byron to try their new pickle beer. So this is a Saison that has been infused with dill. Let's have a look at it. So, Byron pickle beer with hints of dill and a sharp twang, your burger's new best friend. Pickle responsibly. Who is it brewed by? Doesn't say who it's brewed by. I wonder who contract brews it. We'll find that out. Here's the lovely label. It's inspired by this little dude who's apparently their little mascot. You also get there is currently a deal for the Byron Burger and Pickle combo. That's what I've gone for. I am waiting for my burger to appear. Let's pour this beer. Unfortunately, big craft beer no-no, they've given it to me in a frozen glass, so this is probably going to be foamy, but we'll see how it goes. It's not too bad, look. This is not a beer clean glass. It's quite nice and clear. It smells nice. It smells really nice. It's probably about a straw colour. Lots of bubbles, not really much head, only a little bit foamy. It smells quite citrusy. I'm getting a bit of the dill in the back. But as it's a Saison, I'm expecting pepperiness. There isn't much of that, but it is quite citrusy, fruity. Let's give it a try. Definitely a Saison. The dill is really kind of in the middle notes, I want to say. There's a bit of carbonation, a bit of citrus, dill, really dry finish, and then that dill herbal note lingers into the end. No sweetness whatsoever. It smells quite sweet and floral, but it's not. I think this is going to be really interesting to see what it tastes like when the burger comes. So let's wait for the burger to turn up and see what we think. Right, so my burger's arrived. I don't do salad, so there isn't any pickle in it. Because actually, I don't like pickle. So we're going to see how this goes. Right. I'm going to make a mess. And do one of those foodie things where you eat it and then go, mmm. It's quite refreshing. I suppose the dill adds to the burger. It's it's interesting. If you're interested in trying something a bit weird, a bit off to one side, I'd say give it a go. It's not like any other pickle beer I've ever had before. This is much lighter than that. It's more floral with a bit of herbal note to it. It's supposed to be a tart, sharp twang. I don't really get that. Maybe that's because I drink too many sours and saisons, so my palate's different. It's interesting. I think it's fun. It's a fun thing to come and try if you're in a Byron. Try one of these beers out if you're interested in beer. So my afterthoughts on this beer. It had the high carbonation of a Saison. There was a citrusy spritziness to it. The dill that was infused into it was kind of lingering in the back. You got a little bit of it in the smell. You got it in a little bit in the aftertaste. It was incredibly dry, which probably worked quite well to clean your palate while you're eating a burger. I would have liked more pepperiness from the yeast. I'm not sure what yeast was used to brew it. It was brewed by Red Church. I'll be interested to know what yeast they used and what hops, because as it warmed, once that glass had unfrozen itself, there was a lot of floral and citrusy hop notes that I didn't quite expect from that beer style. Overall, it was a crisp, palate cleansing beer. I wouldn't say it was as pickle as I expected, but it cleaned my palate with the burger. I think it's an interesting beer to go and try, as I said in the video. If you're in a Byron having a burger, and if you're a craft beer lover, give it a go and see what you think. Come back and let me know if you've tried it, what you thought of it. In comparison to the Byron pickle beer, which seemed quite simple and will appeal to more people, here is my blind reaction to I'm a Beer Morty by Hand Brew Co, which really is a true pickle beer.
Do you want to reveal what it was?
So it was a cucumber and Szechuan pepper beer.
The Szechuans were a nice touch, I'll say that.
Szechuan pepper. Right, so when I tasted it, I was like, this tastes like green peppers. What? Why is there green peppers in my beer? But then so when I opened it and started tasting it, I was like, oh, Pickle Rick.
Yeah, so I got pickle right away. Yeah. What I didn't get was the Weisse beer bit. I literally went, oh my god, this is flashback to me having wild weather damn dead cucumber.
I'm sure anyone that enjoys a very savoury beer will really
if you like pickles, you're gonna
like pickles,
it.
you'll probably like it.
Like pickles,
I don't like pickles. I don't like green peppers. I don't like cucumber. Got into it.
I would have taken like an actual cucumber. It was like the pickle taste. I was like, nope, can't do it. I couldn't drink it all. No.
I had enough to take notes, and I was like, right, bye. That was my only drain pour. I took detailed notes,
and then it got drain poured because the husband wouldn't even drink that. I was like,
I did the same thing. I took a sip.
Sorry, hand Bruco. I'm sure some people really enjoy that beer, but not for me.
This is what I'm saying though. Is like I can't say that it was a badly executed beer because it really kind of wasn't, in the sense of that's the flavour they wanted.
Yeah, if that's what they wanted, they did it. Like the balance was really interesting. It was interesting.
So I'm
just not drinking it.
My dislike of drinking pickle juice is Han Bruco's fault. Like, no, that's that's a me problem. That's not a Han Bruco problem. But I thought I didn't get the price bit. Like I did it. It's us.
If you're not really into trying a pickle beer, you don't want to go that far, what beers can I recommend to pair with your burger that would be the ultimate burger beer? I think IPAs would go quite well with burgers, specifically if you're having a beef burger. I think a black IPA would go really well. You're going to get the fruity hoppiness that's quite refreshing in a black IPA, but then that light roastiness in it is going to go really well with the mild reactions on the cooked meat. If you are then having maybe a chicken burger, a New England IPA might go really well because it's got a bit more fruitiness, but it's still really refreshing. And if you're going to have a veggie burger, you want something, I think, that is slightly spiced. So maybe an American wheat beer or a Belgian wit beer. They've got a little bit of spiciness in there that's going to pair well with the spiced nature of a veggie burger. Are you now inspired to try pickle beers? Click like on this video now to let me know. And if pickle beers just aren't for you, are you ready to learn how to pick your next favourite beer? Check out the video that's on screen now for my tips for how to do just that.